You've got mail.
Shalom, shalom for all those who love peace, and for those who don't. I pray that you will come to understand the peace that passes all understanding that only Jesus Christ gives to us. Welcome to Phil 210. In the next few episodes, I will be dealing with a concept called Asbab al-Nuzul. Translated to English, the reasons for Quranic verses to come down. It is very intriguing, yet comical sometimes. Most Muslims, as usual, have no idea what it means, especially reverts. They don't understand what Asbab al-Nuzul is. But this is what the original Muslims believed all through the centuries. And this specific book, I'm getting the sources from, and I say thank you always to Hummus Zakaria, Brother Rashid, Brother Wahid from Al Dalil, because I get a lot of resources from them. But this book is called Libab al Uqul fi Asbab al Nuzul, and in English is translated The Core of Narrations on the Reason for Revelation. And it's written by famous Jalaluddin Abi Abdurrahman As-Suyuti, an esteemed Islamic scholar. This is what some of the scholars said about the book. We have Al-Wahidi. He said, you cannot know the meaning of the verse without knowing the story associated with it. And we have surety because we heard this from those who saw and heard. Ibn al-Dahhak al-Aid, Asbab al-Nuzul, he said, Asbab al-Nuzul is a sure way to know the meaning of the Quran. Ibn Taymiyyah, and I don't know if you're familiar with him, but very famous, he said, knowing the reason for revelation helps tremendously. Knowing the reason leads to knowing the cause. Once the Islamic scholars, they had trouble getting the meaning of the Quran. But when they arrived at the reason of revelation, the argument was removed. According to Al-Hakim al-Nisapuri, he said, if we hear from a Sahabi who watched and witnessed the revelation, then we have an absolute source of isnad. He said, then it is sahih beyond any shadow of doubt. So now let us begin, and again, the concept is what is the reason behind a specific verse coming down? And I divided into 3 episodes, and we may need more. So we will see anyway. And some of for example, the last episode is going to be 18 plus and borderline X-rated, but it's nothing that I made up. It is stuff from legitimate sources. So this is our part number 1, episode part 1, a situation and a verse. So the first one is solutions for shy people. What is the deal with this blind man sitting under a tree eating? You say, no need to be shy. And this is from that book. Again, I'm going to refer to the book Asbab al-Nuzul. This is page 189. Ibn Najih from Mujahid said, blind people, sick and crippled people used to go to the houses of their brothers or father or sister or aunt, and they used to make people uncomfortable. He said from a Dahak, he said the people of Medina before PBOH or before Muhammad said didn't mix while eating their meals with blind people, sick or crippled people, because the blind, and this is their reasoning, said the blind cannot see the food and the sick do not enjoy the food. He said, and the cripple, well, he said the cripple, they can't get to the food. Again, from Qatada, in one of the Arab cities, he said they never ate alone. So the person used to carry his food. Just imagine that. The person used to carry his food until he finds someone to eat with him. That's very interesting. So Allah saw the struggles of his people. And so he sent Jibril with Surah An-Nur, Ayah 61. And let's listen to that.
There is no shame on the blind or the disabled or the sick, nor on yourselves if you eat from your homes or the homes of your fathers or your mothers or your brothers or your sisters or your paternal uncles or your paternal aunts or your maternal uncles or your maternal aunts, or from the homes in your trust or the homes of your friends. There is no blame on you eating together or separately. However, when you enter houses, greet one another with a greeting of peace from Allah, blessed and good. This is how Allah makes his revelations clear to you. So perhaps you will understand.
So ayah number two that we're going to be dealing with, and the topic for that is that Allah is near. Please don't scream. And that is found in page 31 from the book Asbab al-Nuzul. So a man came to PBUH, and that's abbreviation for Muhammad. It's a long title, so we're just gonna abbreviate it to PBUH. And a man came and asked him. He said, "Is our Lord close to us that we can speak to him, or far we can call him loudly?" And Allah sent a solution in with like a megaphone, or just whisper to him. That's the question. So Allah sent a solution in Surah Al-Baqarah 186. And let's listen to that.
When my servants ask you, O Prophet, about me, I am truly near. I respond to one's prayer when they call upon me. So let them respond with obedience to me and believe in me. Perhaps they will be guided to the right way.
So then there's a problem then. Most Muslims say that Allah is not in this dunya or this world. How is he close then? And how about the hadith that says that Allah descends every morning at 3 a.m. to hear the prayers? I'm just asking. You find your answers. This here is very interesting. The wrong door. It's page 34, found in page 34 from the book Asbab al-Nuzul. He say the people came to PBUH and asked him about the moons. He said, why the moons look thin and then it grows and then become round. And then the people of the time of Jahiliyyah, they followed the moon and they used to do Hajj, but they divided themselves into two groups in Quraysh. One of them is called the Homs. Muhammad was from the Homs. And when the time of the Hajj comes, according to the moons, one of the groups entered houses and left from the front door. And that's the Homs. Muhammad was one of them. So they came in through the front door, they left through the front door. The second group, they came into houses from the back door and left the houses from the back door. One day during the moon Hajj phases, Muhammad entered and exited a house through the front door. You see how this is has great importance to world civilization, to politics, to world hunger, and all that. This look, we need a solution for this. So one day Muhammad, went in a house and exited through the front door because he's from the Homs. A man named Qutbah bin al-Amir al-Ansari followed him, did the same thing, went through the front, exited through the front. This created a ruckus in town. So they informed Muhammad. Muhammad asked the man, why did you exit through the front door? The man answered, O Prophet, I'm from your religion, the Homs. And that confused the people. So Allah has to intervene by sending Surah Al-Baqarah 189.
They ask you, O prophet, about the phases of the moon. Say, they are means for people to determine time and pilgrimage. Righteousness is not in entering your houses from the back doors. Rather, righteousness is to be mindful of Allah. So enter your homes through their proper doors, and be mindful of Allah, so you may be successful.
This one here is especially interesting. It says, Abraham was a Muslim. Okay. A group and this is written by Ibn Ishaq. He wrote the seerah of the Prophet, or the biography of the Prophet. So Ibn Ishaq, so he heard this from Ibn Abbas. He said a group of Christians and a group of Jews were arguing concerning Abraham's religion. And I want to ask every Christian that will see this video, or Jewish, have you ever heard of us Christians claiming that Abraham was a Christian, or Jewish people claiming that Abraham was a Jew? So they supposedly came to Muhammad, PBUH, to resolve that issue. Allah once again comes to the rescue with revealing Surah Al-Imran 65.
Abraham was neither a Jew nor a Christian. He was a Muslim and was not a polytheist.
So the question is, does any Christian or Jew ever claims Abraham in such a manner? So if Abraham didn't belong to a group 6,000 years ago, or another group 2,000 years ago, how would he belong to a religion that is only 1,400 years old? And he existed in the second millennium after creation. You figure it out. It's puzzling. This is here, Allah is poor, taken from page 67. Say, give Allah, and this bank, this is like one of the first original banks in Arabia. They say, give Allah alone, First Desert Bank. And I know why I have to be limited liability corporation, LLC. A group of Jews came to Muhammad, PBUH, after hearing him asking for a loan for, wink, wink, Allah. Is Allah poor? That's what they were asking. Is Allah poor? That poor that he's asking his creation for a loan? It seems like we are richer than Allah. So Allah was irritated, and he sent Jibril specifically with a verse from Surah Al-Imran, verse 181. But if you see that verse, if you listen to this verse, then there's no resolution either. But let's listen to it.
Indeed, Allah has heard those among the Jews who said, Allah is poor, we are rich. We have certainly recorded their slurs and their killing of prophets unjustly. Then we will say, taste the torment of burning.
This next verse called the greeting of death, and we find that in page 86 from Asbab al-Nuzul. Al-Bukhari, according to Ibn Abbas. Ibn Abbas is the biggest of the big imams in Islam. He said, a man, a goat herder from Banu Salim. His name was Murdus bin Naik. I don't know if he has any relation to Zakir Naik. He said he was passing by a group of Muhammadans, Muslims. So he said to them, Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you, and passed by them. They followed him. They were angrily following him. So he recited Shahada, saying, La ilaha illallah. So they killed him, and they took all the goats and took them to Muhammad. The name of the killer was Osama bin Zayd. I don't know, that's the family of Osama bin Laden. They were saying, why would this man greet us for nothing? He probably wanted something. So Allah sends down a pacifier verse, Ayah 93 from Surah An-Nisa.
O believers, when you struggle in the cause of Allah, be sure of who you fight, and do not say to those who offer you greetings of peace, you are no believer. seeking a fleeting worldly gain. Instead, Allah has infinite bounties in store. You were initially like them, then Allah blessed you with Islam. So be sure. Indeed, Allah is all aware of what you do.
I am a prophet as well. This is found in page 116. One of the prophet writers was named Abdullah ibn Sarh. It happened that PBUH was dictating to him one day. So PB said, a statement or some words. He said, "Dear and wise." Abdullah ibn Sarh will write, "forgiving and compassionate." Also, PB will say, "all hearing and all knowing." And Abdullah will write, "all knowing and all wise." And he will read it back to the messenger. And Muhammad will say, "whatever, potatoes, potatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes." It was revealed that way too. So Abdullah ibn Sarh was a smart man. He left Islam saying, "I'm a prophet." Then, if he was revealed to him like that, it was revealed to me too. So he left Islam. So Allah, to cover up for his top Abdul, he revealed Surah Al-An'am, Ayah 93.
Who does more wrong than the one who fabricates lies against Allah or claims, "I have received revelations," although nothing was revealed to them, or the one who says, "I can reveal the like of Allah's revelations"? If you, O Prophet, could only see the wrongdoers in the throes of death, while the angels are stretching out their hands saying, "Give up your souls." Today you will be rewarded with the torment of disgrace for telling lies about Allah and for being arrogant towards his revelations.
This piece here is called "Please Don't Curse the Pagan," or "Pagans Cursing Each Other." Page 117. From Qatada, he said the Muslims at the time of PBUH used to curse the idols of the kuffars, or non-believers. So the non-believers in Islam will curse back. And Allah did not like that. That made Allah sensitive and mad, so he sent an urgent verse 108 from Surah Al-An'am. Verse 108, Surah Al-An'am.
O believers, do not insult, curse what they invoke besides Allah, or they will insult Allah spitefully out of ignorance. This is how we have made each people's deeds appealing to them. Then to their Lord is their return, and he will inform them of what they used to do.
So was this something just because he's upset, or this has to do with righteousness, that you shouldn't just curse, period? Okay, here we're going to stop here. This is the first episode of a situation and a Quranic verse, and we will meet again next week with another episode.
You've got mail.